Hello everyone, and welcome to Definite Hearing. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my review of the Ceretone over-the-counter hearing aid Beacon model. First off, I want to start with the unboxing video. Here it is. The Ceretone Beacon is a receiver in the canal over-the-counter hearing aid. This Beacon receiver in the canal design is comfortable and discreet. In fact, it was so discreet and so low profile, when I wore my ball cap, it didn't run into my hearing aids or sit awkwardly on my head. I really appreciated that. Now, I want to talk about the sound quality of the Ceretone Beacons. I was actually really impressed with the sound quality. I felt like I could hear myself really well, specifically my consonants. So with my prescription hearing aids and just in general, I really struggle to hear my consonants at the ends of my words. So I typically leave them off or truncate my words, and it can cause me to sound nasally or muffled. However, when I was wearing the Ceretone Beacon, I noticed that things sounded more sharp, and I was more cognizant of how loud my voice was and whether or not I was finishing my words. And so that increased my confidence in myself. I really like that. I believe that hearing devices need to help us feel confident in ourselves, especially when we communicate with others. I asked my husband if he could notice a difference in my voice as I was speaking with these devices in, and he said, yes, you sound a little quieter, but it sounds normal. So I like that. I like that I can have a device that I am more aware of what I'm saying and I'm not talking too loudly. Because as a person with hearing loss, I'm super self-conscious of when someone says, tone your voice down, you're really loud. Because typically that means that I can't hear myself, and that's why I'm being very loud. And I don't want to come off as rude or things like that to people. So I want a hearing device that I can hear myself well when I'm wearing it. So the Ceretone Beacon gets some major points for that. Here is the case. And here are the Beacon receiver in the canal over-the-counter hearing aids. The hearing loss fit for these over-the-counter hearing aid devices is mild to moderate. They can easily be self-fit. There is no clinic or audiologist visit needed. You simply order them. They are shipped to your door. You download the app, review the user's manual, and you are good to go. These devices have 510(k) clearance. Reference number K221052. This means that these devices are safe and clinically proven to use. You can easily control these devices with the Ceretone Hearing app. This app is available for download on the Apple and Google Play stores for iPhones and Androids. These Ceretone Beacon devices come with dome tips. The package comes with a set of 6 dome tips. There are some open flange domes and double flange domes available in sizes small, medium, and large in each type. These domes are much easier to install compared to other experiences I've had with installing OTC hearing aid domes. The reason for this is many OTC hearing aid manufacturers include additional domes in little baggies. Ceretone packaged theirs in a little plastic tray. So when you go to install them, you simply push the receiver into these domes and simply pull it out. Next, I want to talk about the controls on this hearing aid. There is one button, and it is called a multifunction button. After removing these devices from the case, and after you hear the power on notice, it's a verbal cue, power on, then you can adjust the volume simply by hitting the button once quickly. This will cycle through different volume modes until you hit the top level, and then it will cycle back down to the bottom. The next function of this button is if you hold the button longer, you push and hold. After a few seconds, it'll default into one of the modes. Mode 1 indicates 1 beep, 2 beeps for mode 2, and so on. So you just hold longer, hold longer if you want to get to mode 2, and then so on. If you want to turn these devices off or on, assuming the devices are on, you hold the button on until you pass the mode beeping and you reach the power off notice. Again, it's just like a verbal notice, powering off, and then you know that it's off. Some over-the-counter hearing aids have multiple buttons. That can be confusing for some users because what button does what, where with the Ceretone Beacon, one button does everything. I really appreciated the different volume modes. I was able to adjust it easily on the go straight from the hearing aid or the app. I really like that the app can also control the devices in addition to the multifunction button, because with the phone, I can just discreetly change the volume or switch to a mode, where if I don't have my phone on me, I don't have to go find my phone to access a new volume level or a mode. I really appreciate that this device considers both use cases. The ingress protection rating, or IP rating, of the Ceretone Beacon is 6.5. So they are durable devices. Ceretone Beacon comes with Bluetooth connectivity. You simply set up the Bluetooth connectivity through your phone and on the Ceretone Hearing app to enjoy an immersive, wonderful listening experience. Now, when I tried this, I noticed right off the bat that the bass in the Ceretone Beacon works better than any other bass I've tried with a Bluetooth connectivity setting. And that's just kind of the generic setting that the Bluetooth was on. I didn't make any tweaks, but man, I went into my YouTube app to try the Bluetooth connectivity and I was shocked. I was listening to a car commercial and I could hear and feel the vibrating of the tires as they were filming this truck commercial. And I thought it was so cool. So the Bluetooth connectivity of the Ceretone Beacon definitely offers an immersive experience. The Bluetooth connectivity feature allows you to make calls or stream music through your iPhone or Android device, straight to the beacons and into your ears. The Ceretone Beacon also boasts of a long battery life. On one charge, these devices can last up to 18 hours. If the battery did die through your day, the case is easy to carry and offers up to 3 additional charges before the case has to be charged as well. Now, I want to give the case a little bit of attention. The case has various light indicators, one for left, charging, and is charged, whether the case is charging or charged, a UV light feature. When the case is plugged in and charging and the hearing aids are in the case, when it closes, there will be a UV disinfecting light that will turn on for 10 minutes. So I wear prescription hearing aids because I have a moderate to severe hearing loss, and I have a hearing aid dryer, the Global Dry and Store 2, for these hearing aids. The Global Dry and Store 2 is an electronic dryer, and it requires decussant bricks, which are an additional cost, and also a UV light bar, which is an additional cost. The decussant bricks take moisture out of my devices so they can last longer, and the UV light disinfects my molds so that it can reduce ear itchiness. So the cool fact of these Ceretone Beacon is there is a UV light option. So when you're charging the case and the devices, the UV light will turn on for 10 minutes to disinfect your hearing aid domes. This can reduce the itchiness you experience when wearing domes when it's due to bacteria or things that the UV light will get rid of. This was a pleasant surprise because I have not seen a UV light disinfecting feature yet in an over-the-counter hearing aid case. And for my prescription hearing aids, I have to buy a separate device over $100. I think they're $120 now on Amazon to have the same service. So talk about a great value that's built into this Ceretone Beacon hearing aid case. And that's not all, okay? So the last indicator on the Ceretone case is the right hearing aid charging light. It will indicate blue if it's charging and white if it is charged. And that's the same for all the lights. So that's really nice. If it is charging, it is blue. If it is charged, the light is white. And the lights are constant, so you don't have to worry about blinking and counting the blinks and how fast is it blinking, which is an attribute for a lot of other over-the-counter hearing aid charging indicators, I would say. The UV light indicator is red. I opened this case and noticed right away that the top was a little bit more bulky. Well, I realized there's a spot for decussant. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Again, this Ceretone Beacon case is offering value in having kind of an all-in-one device. So with my prescription devices, again, I have to have a separate device that I paid extra for to draw moisture out of my devices through my Global Dry and Store 2. But with this Ceretone device, you can add decussant to this case and it will be a dehumidifier and a UV disinfector all in one. So I think that's super cool. I would like to see Ceretone offer kind of a little pouch of decussant to get you started. That said, decussant is usually readily available and easy to come by. The case offers a great shape, easy to identify if it's in the bottom of a bag, it's not too big, it's easy to carry, and quick to charge. When it's completely dead after 3 complete charges of your hearing devices, the case can recharge back in just a few hours. Let's talk about the pricing. The Beacon model sells on their website for $999. Sometimes you can hit a sale, and as far as I've seen the devices as low as $599. I will include a link to Ceretone's website in the description below. Check that out for Ceretone Beacon's latest product offerings and pricing. Regardless of the price, you can enjoy a 60-day money-back guarantee. Most prescription hearing aids and over-the-counter hearing aids only offer 30 days of a full money-back guarantee. Ceretone offers 60 days. This is wonderful because usually when I get a new pair of hearing aids, even as a long-time hearing aid wearer, it takes me anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to feel like I'm getting used to my hearing devices and the new sounds that I'm hearing and just kind of the experience of wearing a new sound processor. I think a good money back guarantee is an indicator that the brand believes in their product. That's also just comforting as well when you're investing so much into a hearing device for yourself. So there you have it. I really enjoyed reviewing the Ceretone Beacon over-the-counter hearing aid model. Do you have any questions for me? If so, I would love to hear your questions in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to reviewing more products and sharing more hearing loss related information with you. Stay strong, stay amazing, and have a great day.